Deputy Chief Justice Petrus Damaseb, who was speaking during the African Network Constitutional Lawyers Annual Conference, says the lofty ideal of greater economic integration in Africa will remain a distant dream unless laws are harmonized and nationals accommodate each other on the continent. Stressing the importance of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, the Deputy Chief Justice says national and immigration laws must be in sync with the notion of free movement. He further warned that promises made through ACFTA should not be meaningless, as greater integration could have implications on economic integration as well as free movement of goods and persons.
For example, for the practice of professions. For example, will a lawyer admitted to practice law in his or her home country be allowed to practice in another African country? I may be more comfortable being represented in Cameroon by a lawyer from Namibia. To what extent will Cameroonian laws allow that, and vice versa? If not, why not? And will that be an exception to the espoused ideal of greater economic integration and free movement of people? These are important questions that Africa has to address. Nation states are likely to be confronted with litigation, testing national laws against international treaties such as the AFCTA.
Damaseb advised each state to design efficient and robust systems to enforce contracts and dispute settlements, as well as protect property rights of citizens of other countries doing business in the receiving state, citing Namibia as an example.
In the case of Namibia, local businesses, including informal traders, will be able to settle their imports in Namibia's currency and receive payment in the same currency for their exports within the continent. The importance of these Director of Ceremonies cannot be downplayed. Africa is on the march to free itself from the clutches of the US dollar dominance, which has for long defined our relationships with the West because of this payment arrangement.
Speaking on behalf of UNAM Vice-Chancellor Kenneth Matengu, the university's librarian indicated that not only is Africa failing to achieve the goal of sustainable economic development, but is in fact slowly accelerating in the opposite direction.
Certainly, one of the most encouraging trends of our time is the growing recognition that we need laws, policies, strategy, anchored particularly within the context of transformative constitutionalism, and the value of the rule of law that promotes sustainable development. This is because the law has the potential to facilitate a more proactive approach to reorienting our societies toward achievement of sustainable economic goals.
The conference aims to explore the theoretical and practical underpinnings of constitutionalism within the framework of Africa's aspiration for sustainable economic development, harnessing and shaping the full trade and investment potential of African states, amongst others.